Hey y'all, we're gonna switch gears a little bit today. So I have half of the rafters up on the cabin, and I have to cut some more 2x8s, but I'm out of stock or really low on stock. I won't be able to cut the remaining half with what I have. So I'm gonna have to cut a couple more trees down and mill them, which is just an ongoing process. But I'm thinking, so I just moved the mill over there to this site, and before I start cutting more trees and milling, I've been running around with a little trailer on the back of my tractor and throwing stuff on my trailer and then bringing the trailer somewhere to offload or cut or whatever. And the other place where the mill was, I had a couple spots, racks, where I could put my finished stuff or stuff that I won't get to for a while. So it gave me a little latitude in what I was milling. So I'm going to do that here. Right where I'm standing, when I put the mill here, I ran through here with my brush cutter, my bush hog, and cleared this little part out. So I opened this up, but it was easy enough to do because everything was real thin and spindly, and I was able to just run over it with the tractor and cut it up. But as I'm getting further into this section right here, the base of some of these that privet and whatnot is really big. So it's a lot more than I can just run over with my tractor and cut up. So I'm going to have to get in there and at least cut the bases with the chainsaw and cut the chunks out and just drop the limbs. And then once I get the limbs dropped, I should be able to just run over most of them with the bush hog and cut them up. So, and then what I'm trying to do is get that cleared out so I can put me a couple racks in here, so I can just have a rack for 1x, a rack for 2x, and maybe one more rack. So we'll see, but it'll give me make things the process a little more fluid. Whenever I'm milling, I can just put it on a rack and go. So instead of having to throw it on a trailer and drive it here and there and all that. So just trying to get a little more streamlined, and so that's where we are today. Alright, so in doing this, I do try to save some things and try to work around them. So a lot of this is mixed privet, Chinese privet, and Yopon holly. Now, I like the Yopon holly, but it makes these red berries. Now, these aren't edible, they're not for human consumption, but I think there are some birds that that eat these, and also too, just in the wintertime, they provide a really pretty splash of color, especially if you let them get in some sun. And I've seen some of them, I mean, they're just red, just berries all over them. So that's one thing with this one. That was a big Yopon that I just pulled out, but it was laid over on the ground and shoots were doing like this. So I'm going to clean this out and let this little, I think it's two of them right here. I'm going to clean them up. They're leaned over some because the soil is pretty damp right here. This is a low spot on my property. So I'm going to try to straighten them back up, tamp them down, and hopefully that'll be enough to keep them, and then plus giving them some more room to where they have sunlight above. You know, hopefully that'll keep them more upright and full. So and not leaned over where I don't want them to be. So I'll straighten them up. That'll push them back that way, and then that should give me, once I clean this out, that should give me enough room to start putting some racks for my lumber. So I do try to work with what's out here. When I clear and cut stuff, I try not to be just cut everything. It's one thing why I like going through and doing some things by hand when it's so much easier just to run a bush hog through things. If I find little trees that are noteworthy, I try to keep them. I'll put a little marking flag on them and try to cut around them. Sometimes I've tried to save them and ultimately hit them or mess them up, but I do try to keep some of the native things and the more desirable things and clear out a lot of the pines and gums and privet, you know, things like that that are not native. Now the pine is native from my understanding, but I don't think the gum or the privet is. And actually the Yopon holly I like too, because the leaves on it are actually edible in as much as you can make a tea with it. And it's supposed to actually be not just you're able to consume it, but it has some really good medicinal qualities to it. So that's another reason why I try to let some of these thrive and grow and get full. So I'd like to be able to come and, you know, pick leaves and then dry them out and make a tea or coffee. Yopon leaves and chicory to me make a really nice coffee. So I guess it'd be more of a tea, but tastes like coffee. y'all. Well, got this knocked out, or pretty much knocked out. Once it dries a little bit, I find it does better once you when you cutting all this debris. Just let it sit on the ground and dry out a little bit, and then a little later come back and go back over it, and it chops it up a lot finer. So yeah, I think it come out pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get my I got a couple of smaller pine logs I'm gonna mill and just make some probably, I don't know, whatever size they come back. I'm just gonna square them off and set them out here to make racks for the lumber. So, but yeah, I think it come out pretty good. I'm happy with it. I hate doing this stuff when I have so much other stuff to do. I feel like I'm not getting anything accomplished if I'm not getting something done on the cabin. And but when I finish with it, it looks so much nicer and cleaner out here. Just think about it, girl. Is that gonna work? Is that gonna work right there? Yeah, that's gonna work, huh? That's gonna work. Yes, it is. That's gonna be good, huh? That's gonna be good. getting to the end of the day. This is New Year's Eve 2024. So I'm about to wrap it up. Not that I have any big plans. The grandbabies are going down the road to some friends. They're going to do some hot dogs and hamburgers and shoot some fireworks over there. And I'll probably hang out with the doggies and grab me a bite to eat. Maybe do some video editing or something. So happy New Year to all who are watching. I pray that everyone finds what they're looking for in the new year. It's I'll give you a little hint. There's a shortcut you can take, and that's finding Jesus as your Lord and Savior. So if you feel like you have a hole to fill in your life, like something's missing, and you can't quite figure out what it is, you can never go wrong by putting Him in your life. That will fill any void. And I've learned that the hard way over many years of fighting, trying to find and understand what was missing in my life when I had a wonderful life. And sometimes it takes some of us longer to figure it out than others. So I feel like it behooves me to tell anyone who will listen. You know, that's the meaning of life. That's the secret. Find the Lord, put Him first in your life, and not saying that makes everything peaches and cream, because the world rejected Him. The world will reject you too. But man, it sure makes dealing with life a whole lot easier. So it's called freedom and wisdom and peace and joy. All those things come with Him. And you can't find them in the world, but you can find them in Him. So God bless each and every one of you. Have a blessed new year, and we will get there.